This is Microphone Check, hip-hop from NPR Music. I'm Frannie Kelley. E-40 from Northern California is widely known for creating slang, flouting the rules, and knowing everybody from everywhere.
I wonder what I'm going to do. Let's see what's my next move. I got to make my next move my best move. And a voice, it was God. It was definitely God because he just put it in my head. It was like, call Lil Jon.
40 spoke with me and my co-host, Ali Shaheed Muhammad, about Lil Jon, T-Pain, Tupac, and Too Short. But we started our conversation talking business, and in particular, the model that 40 provided New Orleans' own Master P when No Limit Records was just a twinkle in his eye. This is Microphone Check, hip-hop from NPR Music. I'm Frannie Kelley.
I'm Ali Shaheed Muhammad.
I'm E-40.
Word up, E-40.
Thank you for being here.
Y'all hear me out there? I knew. Okay, I was wondering. Thank you for letting me be here.
I am in particular very interested in your business savvy and how you spread what you know to other independent businessmen that are these days viewed as like never having left their region. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to talk about is the relationship between the Bay and the South, in particular New Orleans and Atlanta. Could you tell people who don't know what your relationship with Master P is?
Oh, Master P. Me and Master P go way back. Master P started off, he's from New Orleans, but I believe his mama stayed in Richmond, California. And so, when I was doing my independent grind, started out in 88, met P probably around 89.
Okay.
Somewhere around there, might have been around there, and he was just an eager young man, wanting to make this rap game work for him, and and he stayed out there, he did free shows and did everything he can do to get on, and he watched my blueprint and did his thing, man. We go on and on and on. But
did you guide him?
Kind of, sort of. He watched, and my Uncle St. Charles was probably one of the smartest men when it come to independent music that you probably ever want to meet. You know what I mean? He was, from him, I learned, and he learned from me, and we both took our lumps and bruises and scrapes and scratches from ups and downs and, spending money here where it didn't work. But word of mouth was our cheapest form of promotion. Doing free shows and going out there networking and talking to, other... like talking to industry people, but also, putting our CDs and cassettes in people's hands that had hella slap in their trunk. You know what I mean? That had all the, the big sound systems and whatnot, and reputable cats too. So just put it this way, all the ballers. So you put that CD in their hand, and everybody in the hood here, and they're like, who is them? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's how it went. And the way St. Charles, my uncle, the way he came into play in the 70s, he had what they call a 45 record. Remember 45s? Mm-hmm. He had one of them out independently. And I always, when I was younger, I was like, Uncle St. Charles, we call him Uncle Chucky. Uncle Chucky, I want to make a record one day. He's like, okay, well, I'll be waiting. I got older. You know what I mean?
What was the name of his 45? You remember it?
Oh, man, one was called Rock Me in Your Arms. Shots rang from a pole. yeah, on the other side of it. You know what I mean? At the flip side. So, you know what I mean? So, I mean,
I have so many visuals right now.
Man, hey, it's crazy, but because he was spitting the soils, the hood stuff too, but singing,
right,
and producing too. So, but it wasn't rap. It was, it was soul. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he'll pull up in Millersville at my grandmama's house, and in the trunk he'd have a couple of boxes of his 45s. But he wasn't trying to sell them he was selling them to retailers, but he just so happened to have it in his trunk. And I was like, let me get one. And I played it over and over and over because I was just happy that he was my uncle with a record. So I just watched him, and so he came up with this idea of this is the greatest idea ever. You know, you all know about one sheets where you have the name of your song and all the information, who you toured with or who you opened up for, the barcode, everything that you need that a retailer would need to order your cassette or CD or whatever. So he would put 5 cassettes or CDs in the package, and he made a list. He had this big book. It started off small, then it became like a big old encyclopedia of all the retailers in the nation, out there in Nebraska, Kansas City, Chicago, George's Music, Seventh Heaven up in Kansas City. You know what I mean? All over the place. Back then, there was a lot of mom and pop stores. You remember?
Yep.
And so he would have all of them. He'd send the one sheet out to all these people and give them and send our posters with it and everything, and give them 5 or 6 cassettes and say, here, take this, take these for free, and spread the word. And if you like it, hey, you can order at this number. So when they ordered, they would order from a place called City Hall Records, which is a one-stop in the Bay Area. That was our main hub, real small. And so when they heard our music, it just started spreading. So at first, City Hall Records wasn't, them and music people, they were the 2 smallest one-stops. So at first they was like, man, he rapped too fast, his voice too squeaky. You know what I mean? And then they was talking about my partner, my cousin B Legit. It's like, yeah, and he rapped like he reading and his voice too deep. And it's like, man, that was our chemistry. They didn't know how we do it. And it wasn't like we rap. He just rapped in the pocket. You know what I mean? And I rapped unorthodox.
Who was making that criticism? Was it the?
It was the main people, the people that order it. It was Jason Blame and Robin and Walter over at City Hall Records.
So you're getting orders, but these are the people that's kind of like.
I think at City Hall Records we had somebody blocking our shine in there. One of the youngsters up in there. I know it now. I ain't gonna say it, but later on all of us became great business partners. All of us together because we made money together. Because after a while, a few months later, it was like St. Charles got that call from City Hall and music people like, hey, you remember those guys, the Click, E-40 and them? Hey, we need 5,000 of them records. We want to order 5,000. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it went because they couldn't stop. It was in demand. And next thing you know, we just made money together. And it was cool after that. They understood that, we was ahead of our time. And, we spit the real, and it's meant to be. And here I am to this day. And Master P got hooked up with St. Charles, and he ran that same system we all ran. And all of JT the Bigger Figure, a lot of Bay Area rappers went through him, and that's how it went. And so after a while, it was time for me to move on. I had every major label in the world. I mean, any label that dealt with rap music wanted to sign me. I ended up going with Jive Records because I liked everything about them. They took on my kind of music, and they was good at it. Tribe Called Quest over there.
Yeah,
one of my favorite groups.
Questions about. So you guys were label mates.
Yeah.
Did you interact? Did you work with the same people?
You know what? That's one thing about Jive that I didn't like. They really didn't never connect all the people on the label together like that.
Yeah.
Real talk, because the Hieroglyphics, they was on the label at the same time too. They from Oakland, right in the Bay Area where we from.
There in your backyard.
You know what I mean? Too Short, Spice One. Me and Spice worked together. I worked with Too Short like 7 years. No, let me see. I signed with Jive in '94. I did the record like 3 years later. Then I finally did the record with Too Short. You know what I mean? But me and Too Short knew each other, but I had to work my way up the ladder for Too Short to recognize that, it was a new guy in town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wish we would have worked together with the Tribe Called Quest. You understand me? Because Bonita Applebone and all that, I used to slap that in my Cutlass. Slapping that thing for real. I had a trunk full of Throb in my car, man. Fosgate speakers, Zeus amp.
Yeah, it's interesting just hearing, your business connection with Jive, because we were definitely screaming about ours.
Yeah.
I think you had more of an independent, you were coming in as your own label.
Yeah.
With them. So it was
I had a
entirely
distribution
different.
deal.
Yeah, exactly. It was your business with them was way different. Than
And y'all
our
was
business.
artists at the time.
Yeah.
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 See, my distribution deal went like this because we was already selling, anywhere between 150, 200,000 without no major.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So we was like, okay, if y'all sign us, we got to do the first 200,000 off top. We got to do the first 200,000, 75-25 with a distribution deal. We call it a precedent distribution deal. That's a P&D. So they went for it, and then after the 200,000, this is my deal. I'm telling y'all my deal. They never did this ever again. And okay, so after I sell the first 200,000, can't hold a reserve on it. Can't hold a reserve.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, can't hold a reserve on it.
Can you explain what holding the reserve means?
25%, you hold it back due to damaged product or returns.
Right.
All right, so then after, or whatever else, like it was suing or whatever, anything that has anything to do with stopping their money.
So you're basically actually getting 75-25, not 50-50.
75, they get 25
Yeah.
for the first 200,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Then after that, it kicked into a high royalty. Then I became an artist. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
After the first 200,000. So back then they made their money because I was going gold and platinum. You know what I mean? So it was good. We had a good relationship, and I don't have no regrets with signing with Jive, and I love them for doing what they did, and they love me because we had to we made a statement with that, And here I am, not trying to flamboast, but they help they help breed a true legend.
Well, I don't want to start shit, but one of the things that I've heard both of you complain about is that Jive really kept you to one album a year.
That's what they liked it to do, but I was a little bit like, I kind of they kind of listened to me because I had already proved to sell records without them before. You know what I mean? So I would do I did a double CD. I was trying to do two and three CDs back then, like separate CDs, like sell them one or two in the store the same day. It's just they wasn't with it, but they did let me do a double CD. It's called The Element of Surprise. That came out in 1997. We had a double CD. Me and B Legit, we put out E-40 and B Legit presents Southwest Riders. That was a double CD. We went and got all the rappers from the South and the West and put them on it. That was a double CD. Then right after that, 98, I came with the Element of Surprise double CD. That was the one with Hope I Don't Go Back to Slinging Yayo with me, Too Short, and KC of Jodeci. That was a big record as well. And I had did The Things That Never Change on that record too. No, that was on Hall of Game. So I got so many damn records. But
so at this time though, you're still operating as a record label situation with Jive. So you could push out that amount of quantity. Like you could do you could separate everything, do your E-40 record, you could do a click record, or you could do anything else you wanted to.
Yeah. Just get it done. As long as I got it done.
Yeah.
Right. And so the contrast is that Tribe was in a different deal.
Yeah, we're in a different deal. As an artist, our situation was they wanted to maximize that record, that album, and get as much as they can, squeeze as much as they could, and they needed time to do that.
Right.
That worked to our favor because it took Tribe a year to do an album, or a little bit more sometimes. We weren't quick about 5 months, just not like, here you go. That wasn't our method. So it kind of worked at times. There were times that we wanted to do more, like maybe do a double record, which I don't think that was really wholly embraced at the time. But we're 90, 91, 92, 93.
Yeah. I signed March of 94. My last album was with Jive was 2003. But see, what I used to do when I had my distribution deal with Jive, I would spend my own money as well, because back then, double page ads was it. So if you got a double page ad in the source, you one of them boys. So Master P, he'd have a double page ad. I'd be like, I'm gonna have me a double page ad too. Used to be like 13,000 or something, but just for a double page ad. But let me go on and crack that off so I can flamboast, so I can look like the big boys. You know what I mean? I made sure I put my bread in it too, so I can get in where I fit in. So I won't look like I'm not in there with all the big boys. You know what I'm saying? But y'all took it to another level because y'all, when I had Things That Never Changed, that Bruce Hornsby playover, they was trying to send me to Germany you know, because they was pretty big worldwide, Jive. And y'all went ahead and did y'all thing. I was stubborn, didn't want to do it. So y'all benefited, you know, y'all legendary. You know what I mean? We both are in different categories, but we not. But we are, but we not. But y'all did y'all thing, man. And I'm proud of Tribe because I'm a fan for real. And I ain't saying it because you're here. You know I've been rocking with y'all.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you. So do you take, you know, like you've been putting out records constantly, you know, and in a consistent way that it's hard for a lot of artists to do. What do you take from your earlier experiences in distribution, like having the list of all the retailers and stuff like that across the country? How do you transition that to the now era of moving music? It's a lot. There's a lot of electronic distribution. There's not a lot of mom and pop stores out there.
Right.
Or what is your method?
I'm independent again. I've been independent since '09 with EMI. Got a distribution deal again. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, this is better. This was better. You know, they give me a budget, and what I do with that budget is I turn that budget into 2 and 3 albums, and I sell them separately. So my fans rock with me. I got a solid fan base, and they love me, and I love them, and they know I'm gonna get them what they want to hear. So they buy all 3. So nowadays, you know, the days of just going gold right off the back, it's not that easy because of the, you know, the downloads and all that stuff. So I go ghetto gold. You know, if I sell 100,000 plus, I'm good. You know what I mean? You know, and all those albums definitely add up to that. But now the way my method is to Twitter, Facebook, all the social media, Instagram. You know, stand visual, rocking with everybody that's somebody that rock with me. You know what I mean? Being E-40, just twisting it up with the newer sound nowadays. You know, but not going out of my envelope in my jurisdiction.
Is all the social media stuff, is that the equivalent of a 2-page ad in the source?
Yep. Okay. It is like a banner on World Star.
Yeah.
That's equivalent to a 2-page ad on World Star, but not that much, but not as much as we was doing for the 2-page ads, but it's up there.
Right.
But it's when you got a banner on World Star, it's like you flamboyant. Oh, okay, I see his album coming out here. Okay, he on World Star, seeing his album cover on the top of the page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who else is like World Star? There are like a few companies that are as effective.
I think they the biggest when it come to that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of other ones are too, but not like World Star.
Okay.
Really, for real, real spill. You know, and you know, commercials, running commercials. I run a lot of commercials. See, you can make your own commercials, virals, do your virals, make some funny ones, make some that, you know, and put them on your YouTube channel. You can do that. You know, and then when you do your 30-second or 15, like I got 15-second spots I'm gonna be running. I bought a bunch of them for MTV Jams, and I bought a bunch of them for Revolt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's hitting the demographics of my fan base. You feel me? So you can do it like that too, because you know they don't have MTV raps no more.
Yeah,
they don't have
playing music anymore.
Exactly. They don't have Rhapsody no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when people think, like a lot of people, they might think I fell off, but they don't know I'm eating. I'm on the West Coast eating. It's just they don't hear about me because they don't see me on the TV like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still around.
What about radio? Do you care about radio?
Yeah, I care about radio. It's always good to have radio.
Has that process changed since the 90s? Your relationship with program directors, or?
It's, you know, they got that thing called what is it called? What is that?
PPM.
PPM. I don't know why I always get that messed up. So they got that they got just random people with the ankle bracelet. I mean, well, not ankle bracelet, but with a bracelet or something, with some kind of, I'm sorry, with a monitor, and they carry it everywhere. I'm stupid, right? I'm crazy. With a monitor. That's me with all this. See,
maybe it should be a ankle.
You know what it is? I deal with so many people that's locked up and that's are on house arrest. That's the first thing come to my mind.
That's a good analogy, though. I like that.
Pretty much, because they got to take the thing everywhere or something like that. You know what I mean? So I guess it's based on that now, and it ain't. I don't like it. I don't like it because I feel like good music is good music. You know what I mean? If it sound right, it's right. You know what? One thing about me, you know, I cater to. I'm not trying to act like I'm super hard on them, but my music really cater to the inner city. You know what I mean? I'm just one of them dudes that's serious, but I can make you laugh with my music too. But it's serious and it's real. With that being said, back in my days, I said a word. I said pimping in one of my words in one of my songs. They beeped that out. So a lot of my hood songs that was real ghetto anthems never made it to the radio because they felt like I was spitting the hard stuff. But later on, you know, other rappers started, you know, getting they hardcore stuff on the radio. So everything that they was, you know, everything they was putting out, they was rocking with it. So I was like, man, I wish I had that when, you know, during the early parts of my career. I'd probably definitely be further. But I don't gripe. I just grind it out and stay doing it. And when it catch, it catch. Like every year I give me a slap. You know what I mean?
Do you remember who got play with like a really hardcore song? Like who was the first person, and how do you think they did? Do you think they paid?
Paid to get on the radio?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, because see, you can have a hard-headed song, real hardcore, and eventually it's going, you know, if it's cracking in the hood, you know what I mean, which is the confirmation to the suburbs to say this is the song we want to hear. This is what we rocking with. The radio, they ain't gonna have no choice but to play it.
Right. Okay.
You know, and all they're gonna do, like I had a song called Captain Save a Hoe.
It's 1993, and niggas need to miss me, be saving these hoes. You know how these tricks be buying them clothes. Wanna taxi hoes on Vogue with the beat, and have them sitting next to them in the front seat. But not BC, I'm a hog about the V. And my motto is fuck a hoe and hit the throttle to the smoke. Talking on my okie doke. Worldwide, I got a clients up in Tokyo.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. What's that nigga's name?
Captain Save a Hoe.
More faster than a speeding bullet to put on his cape. It's caught, I pulled it, fake the funk. Not me, that's not the way to do. Captain motherfucking Save a Hoe came to me. Flashing just like a little old batch, all up in front of my company. Had to check his ass with an ear checked up and pumpkin. Talking to him while I'm beating his ass, pumping beer. Talking about nigga, you gon' retrospect something.
Should I save a hoe?
I didn't make that song for radio. I made it for my fans, you know, in the streets. So the DJs came up to me and was like, "40, man, bruh, you got a clean version for Captain Save a Hoe?" I say, "No, but I can make one." So I made it the next day and sent it to them, and they played it. And that was a hardcore song. It wasn't hardcore like Shoot 'Em Up Bang Bang, but some of the songs like I love Ice-T. His music was just it. He had that 6 a.m, police at my door. You know what I mean? They had to rock with that. They had to rock with the colors, you know what I mean? And, you know, of course, NWA, you know how hard-headed they was. They had to play it, though. They had to play it after a while. They tell you, Too Short? It didn't get no nastier than him. He was that boy. When he say, "Ooh, he's got a dirty mouth, but bitch," I kept talking. Man, he everything he said. Hey, but they played it eventually. He cleaned it up a little bit, and they started playing Too Short. He paved the way for me. You know,
Ali has a good story about Too Short open for you guys.
No, we open for Too Short. That would be something. If Too Short was opening for us, it'd be something really wrong in the world. But yeah. You want me to tell that story?
I mean, you already told it.
That story.
He's been around forever, man. Too Short.
What drives you to keep making music?
You know, I started off playing drums in the 4th grade, and I played all the way the snare drum and the bass and the marching band all the way to high school. Yeah. So that show you right there that I really do have a true passion, and I love rapping. You know, I know it's a message in my music, because a lot of people hear my turn up music, you know, with just club bangers, but I got songs that'll make gangsters cry. You know what I mean? and I got something to say. So what drives me mostly is that I know that I was born to do this, and it is my occupation, of course. But I don't care if I was a billionaire. I still make music, even if it was just for me, and I just wanted to put it on the internet and just give it to them for free or something, or put it on iTunes and let them just, if you want it, go get it. You know what I mean?
So it's just a struggle of the people, I guess. You know, like you feel that and you just want to speak about it, basically.
Yeah. I'm telling you, a lot of people nowadays, they hear me on all the social media, and they, 40, you raised me. You raised me like you was my daddy. They mean that by my music. Because I can tell you how to get out of a situation in my music, and I can tell you when you do get into a situation, you know, you got to know it's consequences and repercussions. You know what I mean? If you choose to go this way, it is most likely, the chances are it's going to end up that way. A lot of times, everybody don't make it out when they go hop into the other thing, to the street game. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about gangs. I'm talking about street game, and that's, you know, illegal stuff. You know what I mean? And I talk about how, you know, how back in the days, you know, it was cool to leave your screen door open, and now it's real dangerous. And you know how
You talking about practice looking hard?
Huh? You know about that?
Yeah.
You know about Price Looking Hard? Right. That's one of many. I got one called Born in the Struggle. I got one called They Got Me Trapped. This is all recent. They Got Me Trapped was like one of the is right now one of the favorites in the penitentiary right now, because I got folks in the state and the feds. You know what I mean? And Got Me Trapped is just talking about everything. Talking about they holler at the jailhouse lawyer. You know, the jailhouse lawyer is a dude that just got all the knowledge. And, you know, he ain't no real certified lawyer, but he read books. He always in the library. You know, it's just talking about real stuff. Like, you know, I say a part where I said, I'm making it like I'm the granddaddy. I'm like 31 years old, and I got a grandson, but all I can do is give him advice. You know what I mean? Because I'm in here for life. That's what I say. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, you know. But I can go on and on forever, man. And but what drives me, man, is just having that fire in my heart, saying, "Hey, first of all, I love this, and this is my hustle. This is what I do. This is my mama. She worked 3 jobs, raised my daddy and my mama. Divorced when I was 8 years old. I was 8. My brother D-Shot was 6. My sister Sugar T was 4, and my brother Muggsy was 2. You know what I mean? So I had to be like the man of the house. So I seen my mama working so tough that I became a hustler like her. You know what I mean? And I got an opportunity. So why not just keep going?
And then I just want to go back to some of the Master P stuff as a way to talk about business. I mean, some things that he does that you do, I don't know, you know, which came first. His deal with Priority is obviously after your deal with Jive. Right. But, you know, he kept his masters. They only got 15%. So I guess my question is, did he learn that from you?
Did he take a page out of my book?
Yeah.
I'm glad to be of some assistance.
Okay. And then, you know, he's always, all those No Limit records have like 20 songs on them. You often have at least 15 songs, 13.
About 17. 17. My double CD, Element of Surprise, had like 22.
Right.
I never did the 12 song, 11 song. I think now a lot of people do 11. Right. Because you paid on 11. I give them extras. I always like to give them extras, like if you was in the streets and you serving, you understand me, some cha-cha something, you know, you want to shoot them something, whatever you're doing, you want to put them extra. If you're selling clothes, you want to give a little bit of extra, satisfy your people.
I don't think the people know that they're getting extra, though.
They don't know.
Right.
Because a lot of people expect, like, they get the records with the 15, 17 cuts, and they just expect that to be the norm. And they don't really understand that you only are getting paid on 10, 11 songs.
10, 11 songs.
So that there is...
Explain how that works, though.
Well, in terms of, I don't know who in the people who carve out the percentages of a record and the royalty and the breakdown of it, but they just, I guess, agree they're only paying on 10 songs, 11 maximum.
11 maximum.
Depending on your deal. So I guess in terms of radio play, performances, video play and stuff like that, that's, you're making money, and the record company has to pay you according to that. So I think for them, if there's like 20 songs and they're never going to, in their, I guess, their terms, their business, they're not going to make money. So it helps them to make money by just narrowing down the amount that they're going to pay out. If you want to put out more songs, that's better for them, because it's like you're helping promote, and they don't have to pay for whatever you're giving.
Another thing is, no matter who's on the song, like you get 100%, right? The producer most of the time get 50% off top. You know what I mean? 50%. Then you split that. It's called writer splits. You know what I mean? And when you do your splits, like say me and Ali, he produced it. No, me, you, and Q-Tip rapping on it, and then just say Kanye produced it.
Okay.
That's 50% to him, no matter what, and then we got to split the other 50%.
Right.
You feel me? Unless it's a playover or a sample where the original people that had the original beat that we played over want a percentage. It's still whatever we got left, we got to split that percentage up. And that's a lot of it is performance. Like performance publishing is different than mechanicals. Performance is like, you feel me, BMI, ASCAP, you know what I mean? It's we got to split that no matter what. So a person can get on my song for free and won't and don't charge me or nothing, and won't ask for mechanicals or nothing, but he has to get his performance. Now they got Sound Exchange, which is a lot of people don't know about Sound Exchange. You know, that's Sirius Satellite. You know, that's hidden money that it's in the pipelines that you don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, NPR and all its member stations have a deal with them.
See? You see what I'm saying? So what I did, when I first found out about it, I was like, I've got to hurry up and going to sign up for this thing. You know, when I got my check, like, man, I had that much in the pipeline? Like 80,000, just didn't even know. Like, you know what I mean? It's money that you get paid quarterly. You know what I mean on that. Just like BMI and ASCAP. So it's just a lot of artists don't know that it's money out there for you, and you know what, I got so many songs out there, I'm probably missing money because I don't, a lot of them I haven't did the actual
registering
business, the splits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because I did songs with hella people.
If you do a song, you put it out, but for whatever reason, just one person doesn't have their publishing situation together, you're not getting paid on that song.
Nobody's getting
no
paid
one is getting paid. It could sell 1 million units and be like played. Like if one person is just like out of line, then everyone's just standing there waiting.
A lot of the youngsters that I deal with, because I deal with a lot of independent artists, I tell them, man, you gotta sign up for BMI. I say, you can go online. I say, if you need some help, I can lead you in the right direction. A lot of people don't know that's some good bread. You know what I mean? That's some good bread. And if you turn in all your songs, you know, it's really some good bread. Like I say, I haven't even turned in all. I got to do that because it's money missing, and I can't be missing money.
When I mentioned when we first sat down about business-wise in the South and everything, what is your relationship with Lil Jon, and how did that come about?
I remember hearing Lil Jon way back in the days. We had that "I Like Them Gas." He had a song called "This Dude Hella Funny," right? But I met him through Too Short. You know, just being on the road, me and Short doing shows, and he was always cool with Short. You know what I mean? And I always stayed cool with him. You know what I mean? And got in some of his videos. I played the Ice Cream Man in one of them. I think it was Throw Your Hood Up. Then we did a song called Rep Your City. Me, him, Petey Pablo, and I think Bun B. Yep. And 8-Ball was 8-Ball? 8-Ball was on there too. 8-Ball, Bun B, Petey Pablo, me and Lil Jon. It was a banger. that's what really did it. We just started connecting.
So that's a lot of different cities. On one song.
Yeah, that's a lot of, and it was one of the ones. And so I stayed in contact, and we was cool, like real cool. We'd always do shows together and stuff. And so it was, Lil Jon was popping at this time, like real, like later on, like in 2003, 4, all that era, he was popping. I was like, that was my last album on Jive after Breaking News, which was 2003. So I was free and clear. So one day I was just doing what all of us do. I was in the bathroom, and this when the two-way pagers was out, and so I was like, man, I wonder what I'm gonna do. I wonder what I'm gonna do. Let's see what's my next move. I got to make my next move my best move. And a voice, it was God. It was definitely God, because he just put it in my head. It was like, call Lil Jon. I promise it was just that clear. Call Lil Jon.
You kind of sound like Lil Jon right now.
So I call. Hey, I say, I text him. I say, hey, man, give me a call. He called me back. I say, man, look, I'm off this deal. I'm done with Jive. We were on our separate ways. It was all love, but I need a new home. I say, what's happening? Oh, you want to OG? Oh, you want? I say, yeah. I say, man, what's happening with BME? You know what I mean? He said, man, I'm gonna call you right back. Let me call my people. Right? Boy called me back in like 35, 40 minutes. Right? It was like, they ready to go. Let's go. Let's get the lawyers talking. What's your lawyer name? What's the number? And there it is from there. And that helped revise my career too, because I was able to display my music again on a nationwide scale, and they all got behind me. And I went in there and knocked out a great album. That album went gold, and that was later on in my career. I was like 37, something like 38.
And he,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And Lil Jon produced "Tell Me When to Go."
He produced "Tell Me When to Go." He produced "Tell Me When to Go." You and That Booty. That's a gold single. The album "Get a Report Card" went gold. "Snap Your Fingers" with platinum. I was on that with him. That was actually going to be my song, because we made it during my session. But he was like, 40, you got this hyphy movement going on over here. We got the snap movement. You're going to be part of both of them. This going to be a better look for it to be my song. You know what I mean? And I understood it. It worked out right. You know what I mean? And so, but I was on the record with him, and I shined. We did the video. The song went platinum.
Yeah, and then for you and that brings in T-Pain.
T-Pain. Now, let me tell you this one. T-Pain at the time had "I'm in Love with a Stripper," and I forgot the other one. But none of the rappers that he rapped with to this day, even the Florida rappers, they wasn't rocking with him like that. Everybody started rocking with T-Pain when he did "You and That Booty" with me, that particular record, "You and That," and that went about by my boy Al Capone out of Memphis, Tennessee. That showed the boy Terrence Howard how to say "man" and that hustle and flow. You feel me? Memphis, Tennessee. I see you, Echo. You know what I mean? And me and Al Capone, actually, he was signed to my label in Steel Family. You know what I mean? And so he was in the studio with me vibing. Lil Jon did the beat to "You and That," and we needed a hook. And he was like, man, we need to get somebody that's under the radar, but that's good. That, he fresh, but don't nobody know. Woo woo. And so he was like, we was all thinking. Maurice Garland was in the studio. My boy Sean Kennedy from San Jose.
She's talking about writers, music writers.
Yeah. And so the boy Al Capone say, man, how about T-Pain? Right? We was like, yeah, who got a line on T-Pain? Maurice Garland I do. I just did a bio on him. Right? So he called Boo, Akon brother, right? Because T-Pain was signed to Akon label. Man, Boo say, we're going to be down there. I'm sitting him down there. Man, that boy came down there, and he just so happened, he was staying in Tallahassee, Florida at the time, but he just so happened to be in Atlanta at that day. Man, he came through there, and it was my first time ever meeting him, but he was a fan. He was just, what's up, Earl? What's up, Fonzarelli Earl? What's up, Fonzarelli Earl? He real comedy, right? I say, what's happening with a boy? Woo, woo. Man, boy, let me hear that song, man. He heard the song, man. Boy went in there and knocked that thing down at like 20 minutes for real. Like, it was just natural. And everybody say he need that auto-tuner. That boy really can sing. He put the auto-tuner on it after he already did it. And history was made.
E-40, T-Pack. What you gon' do when I bend the block? Pull up on that ass in a brand new drop. Speakers on blast with tremendous knock. TVs in the dash rims just won't stop. You need to be down with a pimp like me. I ain't turning down nothing but my collar, you see. I'ma leave you with my number, you should holler at me. Cause I'm a baller, can't nobody hustle harder than me.
That's how that happened with me and T-Pain. And look how many artists start rocking with him after that, man. I mean, he made so many people a lot of money. Because them hooks was impeccable. I mean. And he got paid too. He rich. From doing hooks. He probably got paid from doing hooks on other people's stuff more than he did for his solo projects, for his albums. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
One more other person to talk about Tupac way back in the day, 93, 92. I mean, speaking of practice looking hard.
Yeah.
What was your relationship with him like?
Good, man. Pac was, travel all over the world. So when we can get together, we stay talking on the phone all the time. But when we can get together, we party. We kick it tough. You know what I mean? Dude was the type of dude that if he like you, he love you. You know what I mean? And he was outspoken, and he spoke the real. He just spoke the real, and his whole story is incredible. You know what I mean? Just life in general. But he came to I really wasn't like he had mentioned. Who told me that? I think Richie Rich we was at some place in what was it? It was Juneteenth in Sacramento or Dixon or Davis, and Richie Rich was like, 40 Tupac looking for you, man. He want me to give you his number, and you know what I mean, give him a call, man. You know what I mean? So I called him. And they had told him he had shouted out E-40 in the Click on his album. We independent artists. We like, shoot, this big artist shouting us out? You know what I'm saying? We independent. We just be way before Jive, like 2-3 years before Jive. He shouting us out. And I like, man, right on for the shout out, woo, woo, woo. And he said, yeah, man, we going to get together, man. You know what I mean? Show him what we do, man, woo, woo. And we stayed in contact real tough after that. And then he came to this is 1992. He came down to the studio on Solano Avenue, and we did what was that song called? We never put it out. We still got it. Studio Tone got it, and because I never did my verse, I was so happy kicking it with him. He did his because he used to write so quick. You know what I mean? So he mentioned E-40 in the Click, and this one he was Thug Life. This before the Outlaws. He didn't mention nothing about the Outlaws because that wasn't his crew at that time. You feel me? It was Thug Life. You know what I mean? Big Psych in them. You feel me? So then we just stayed in contact. Then what was after that? Jack the Rapper and all kind of other places we hooked up at. And then he had court, and I was like, when you gonna be back in the Bay? I got court next week. Woo woo woo. And 93, I had a song called Practice Looking Hard. And that's when he came to the video and was with me just hung out all day from early after court to nighttime. And that's why you can go on YouTube and see a bunch of footage with him, with kicking it with little kids in the neighborhood and older people and just kicking it like he was so embraced. Everybody rolled out the hood red carpet for him. You know what I mean? And then from there on, we just stayed connected and doing music together, and held song after song. And, I was happy to be part of All Eyes on Me. You know what I mean? That album. Shoot, he was on my platinum album In a Major Way. You know what I mean? He was on the Hall of Game album. You know what I mean?
All Eyes on Me, another double album.
That was a double album.
Did you guys ever talk about business?
He was militant. He's like, man, we gonna show them. We gonna show them other folks how we gonna get this money. he had an ideal. He had one ideal that never came to light, but I know he would have been good at it. Was it was called, how they had Planet Hollywood, how all the actors got together and put that together at the time. Was that what they did?
Yeah.
Right. So he wanted to get all the rappers to do Gangster Cafe, and we have like Al Capone. You know what I mean? Like when you come in there, you see a picture of Al Capone, Frank Nitty, all the gangsters, and like pictures of them, just like Planet Hollywood, but upscale and everything, but called a Gangster Cafe.
Have you heard of this?
No, I had not.
That was one of his dreams. That's what he said. He's like, you might want to put your money in this. I was like, well, let me know when. I got a little bit of Gouda. I need in.
I think it's something that's to still, for a hip hop artist, especially like the art form's been around for a minute, to see and people are making money to see people come together and make a power move like that, because I don't think that's happened yet.
No, it haven't.
So
it haven't, man. And that's the thing. We better together than separate.
Absolutely.
And I try to tell cats. When I rock with Too Short, see, one thing about me and Too Short, I respect him as being before me. And he taught me a lot just through his raps and the way he did it. And he was the first one to let his nuts hang over his shoulder and say the things he said. And his beats was, a lot of people don't know, his beats was with the sound he is now, way back in the early 80s. With the heavy bass line, and that was him on the keyboards, Todd Shaw. You know what I'm saying? So, once me and Short start really connecting, it can't be no fallouts or nothing like that, because you know why? I'ma always respect him as being the first. A lot of cats won't do that. They'll just be like, man, well, I'm over you now. Woo, woo, woo. I'm way over you. I'm way more popular. I'm the dude right now. Woo, woo. It ain't about that. You gotta pay homage, man. These new cats don't pay homage like that. That's why they always separating and all going all over the place. You know what I mean? Everybody got to get their egos, and they don't know people like Too Short is just going to be around forever, because he embroidered in the game. He in there, and what do you do about it? You know what I mean?
Why do they not know their history?
I don't know. I was just talking to Steve Lobel. Me and Steve Lobel got one like T-shirts in a movement that's called Hip Hop Don't Know You. You know what I mean? Pretty much because they don't know hip hop. They refuse to go back and do their research and pay homage to the African Bombadas and the Melly Mel and the, and Kool Herc and all them dudes and Grandmaster Flash and Cash and all the OGs. Way before us. You know what I mean? And they just don't want to do it. Some do. But they got the power to do it because Google is there for you. But some of them, they just want to be. They just think, just because they on right now, they think they're gonna be on forever. No, you not with that. Not doing your research and not looking how it was done before.
Yeah, what worries me about that though is that maybe journalism is letting this next generation down also.
Journalism is, because they not even woke. Journalism. They don't do their history checkup. They don't know everything either. They just know.
You can't find out about Federal on World Star. But
a lot of people think my first album came out in like 94.
Right.
Somewhere around there. 92. But as a group, MVP, me, D-Shot, Be Legit, and Sugar T, before we changed our name to The Click, we was MVP, and that was 1988. Then after that, I came with Mr. Flamboyant in 89. That was an EP. You feel me? And we didn't start from there. So I was around. It just wasn't just. But in my neighborhoods and throughout the whole Bay Area and Seattle and LA and all, the West Coast, it just started going where we needed to go, and it blossomed. But yeah, they need to do more due diligence on what's going on with the people before even me.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of radio used to be different. Radio is very different on the West Coast from the East Coast. I mean, you've spoken about this before, that like West Coast musicians get played a lot more on the West Coast.
We do when you got one it got to be overpowering because they play more South music than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The West Coast
true.
play more South music, but you know what's so cool about it? And I love my South. I love the South. I love the streets of the South. But I can't say I love the powers that be, as far as a lot of the DJs, because they scared to let their nuts hang over their shoulder and play a West Coast artist knowing he got a blap. Like I had a song called Trick, which was Player Don't Act Like a Trick.
You can say the real name of the song.
Oh, okay. I had a song called Bitch. Me and Too Short. That was all over. It was a party banger. I can see that anywhere in the United States, and they gonna rock with that. Now, I mean, I had a song called Function before the sound started getting bigger. Mm-hmm. They didn't even play that in the South because you know why? They biased. They like, no, it's West Coast. First thing they say, that's West Coast, but yet still they want to come to the West Coast and get our sound. A lot of cats want the Bay Area, LA sound. I'm just being honest. I ain't no phony dude, but it's the truth. I'm not saying the artists
I know.
is haters that come get the sound. Maybe they open-minded. That's how I look at it. Yeah. You know, I'm saying that the DJs and the program directors, they the ones who, you know, pretty much to me set trim like, man, that's West Coast. You know what I mean?
How do you get a job as a program director?
I don't know. I think you just climb your way up the ladder slowly but surely. You know, you start off as a DJ. You might even start off as an intern.
And lose your soul. I don't know what it is, though. I don't know, you know, just the connection. I don't know. I can't say that because I know that some program directors, they are connected. They know what it is. They know what's in the streets. But I don't know if things are really different now because it's more corporate. And I don't know if that corporate mentality was going on in the 80s and 90s. We just didn't call it corporate. I don't know what it was, but.
Man, DJs got to get permission to put a song in a mix nowadays, especially where we at. You got to get permission to even play. You know, back in the days, you can just, I'm going to play this song tonight because I just want to because it's one of the ones and I think it can go. Now, you got to get a permission. You got to get an email, everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't play it or else you mess around and get fired or something, man. Yeah. You know, so I don't know who breaking records. I think artists is breaking their own records just by posting their song up on the internet and you know, and then the DJ say, "Oh, that might be one of them ones. I'm gonna try it," you know. But
there was this crazy moment at the Kanye Tribe show when Kanye, right before he did "Blood on the Leaves," he said, "Listen, Ebro, this is." I'm paraphrasing, but like, "Listen, Ebro, this is the one I want next." And it was like he had to demonstrate that the whole garden was feeling that song before Ebro would put it in rotation on Hot 97.
Yeah, we know Ebro. Ebro from the Bay Area. Well, he from, I can say pretty much Sacramento. When we started DJing way back in the day. He was always cool. But you know, I think that he let his nuts hang over his shoulders for me on a song called "Tell Me When to Go." He played that, and I think they played "You and That Booty" too. But I'm trying to tell him, Function was definitely one that he passed on. And I'm be honest, bro, you should have been blapping that, man. You know what I mean? You should have been blapping that. You should have been on that. And a lot of the Greg Streets of the world, they should have been playing it. I don't understand it. So when you hear one of them ones come around as E-40, don't hesitate to blap that for me, okay? Do that for your folks, okay? It's all love. I'm not tripping. It's love, okay? Hello.
I ain't got time for playing, I'm just saying, man, we out here trying to function. 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 I ain't got time for playing, I'm just saying, man, we out here trying to function.
We out here trying to function, bitch. You're fucking off my high, get about my mix. You're messing up my vibe, I'm trying to get some crap. Put it in my ride, take it to the ribs. I'm toasted and sloppy, off of broccoli, Bacardi, 151 out my body, about that green like wasabi. Like in Bari, we mobby, we bossy, back the fuck off. Getting money, my hobby, not getting money, it's not. The rappers I listen to is E-40 and Pop. I'm having my revenue player, having this guap. I'm on fly big nigga shit, man, I stay laced and groom, I spray myself with sucker repellent. My nigga not perfume, anything you got I can sell, but a hustler think I can't. Get the gas, sell the White House black paint. Word candy, SLANG. Thinking about taking $1 million insurance policy out of my mouth.
Hey, bitch, try this. Guaranteed turn square to a buy, bitch.
I have 2 more questions, and then I'm told you gotta go. Okay. One is about the next generation. We talked a little bit about them. Some of whom you disapprove some of whom you'll work with.
Yeah.
There's one song with Danny Brown and Schoolboy Q.
Yeah, I
That's
love them.
3 very different voices on one song.
Perfect. I love them dudes.
Why?
Because they talented and they different. They not like everybody else, and they dare to be different. They don't mind being, and we all different. So we all got unique voices. Our rap styles is all different. Why not put all 3 of us on the track? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So with features, you kind of tell a story. Who you put on is part of this, like the personnel is part of the song.
Right. It ain't who I can get. I can get a lot of rappers. There's probably a couple I probably can't get. You know what I mean? There's probably like, never know when that happened. You know, but I rock with those who rock with me and those who I like, and that's gonna fit a particular song. And if I don't get you at this, it's a lot of other rappers out there that probably didn't get on these 3 albums that I got coming. But my next ones, I probably got it already in my mind who I want on it. Mm-hmm. You know, I like young talent and the older cats. Yeah. You know what I mean? I rock with a lot of people, man. You know, just talent, recognized talent.
I Am Sue and Young Scooter.
Yeah. I got on Scooter. I got me, Gucci Man, and Scooter on one. You know, that's who Gucci rock with, Scooter, and with that song, that's the projects. That's called the Project Buildings, and that one go hard. I do got I Am Sue. I got I Am Sue on a couple of them. I got him, Sage the Gemini on one, and Eric Stats, and they all from the Bay Area. Okay. So we got on one song. Then I got I Am Sue on another one. Me, him, and Cool John. He's part of HBK. They all together. You know what I mean? So, and I Am Sue was on the function, the original function before I got French Montana and Red Cafe and Chris Brown and Jeezy on the function remix. That's another thing. Even when I went and got them on the function remix, they still didn't want to play it, and it was a club banger of the year. You feel me? So that's all. I just want to say that real quick.
Okay. I have my last question, and I'm like a little bit nervous about asking it, but I'm going to anyway.
Why are you nervous?
Because it's about...
Is it something from 20 years ago?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Now I want to know about 20 years ago.
No, I'm just saying.
So you talked about like making turn-up records and function records and things that will work in the club, and we've spoken about this before, ways to tell if a record's going to work in the club if it's at the right tempo for the DJ to mix with everything else that's happening at the time. You also talk about making songs for the bitches. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
That's making songs for the bitches is that shit. What we doing with the turn up shit? I mean, like Episode. That's a song for the broads.
Okay.
That's a song for the females to feel good about themselves, you know, or whatever. We can have an episode, and then I might have a song with I'm just bigging up a girl. Like I got a song called Salute. I salute you with me and Raheem. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that ain't on this album, but it was on the last album, the Block Brochure 1, 2, and 3. It was on them. Mm-hmm. It was on that one. So I just cover all angles. I'm sharp on all 4 corners. So I cover all 4 corners of the game. Mm-hmm. So I might talk about the dope game. I might do a club banger. I might tell a story about how a motherfucker got his head knocked off in the hood. I might talk about something real uplifting. Like I put God in a lot of my raps, a lot of them. You know, because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Faith is where it's at. You know what I mean? I go deep. I just cover every angle. I'm a true artist, and I'm unique, and I'm an innovator, and I refuse to do what everybody else do. When everybody else go right, I'm gonna go left.
I feel you. I have to ask though, because sometimes it feels like people make songs for like everybody else, and everybody else means men, and then they make songs that are just for the women, and it's like we're not supposed to enjoy everything that's available to us. You
know, it's a trip. I got a song called "The Art of Storytelling" that all the females like. I don't know why they like it. The art of storytelling is it ain't a real story, but it's a story that is something that everybody can relate to because it really go down in different neighborhoods. You know what I mean? But they love it because it's real. It's like it ain't real, but it's real. It's like it's painting a picture with my lyrics. Mm-hmm. I'm a storyteller. That's another thing. That's what we lack right now. Storytelling. Everybody want to do punchlines and metaphors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stay on the subject and let's paint a picture. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There it is.
I love your stories. I love your rhythms. It makes sense now, knowing that you're a drummer. Now it just as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, that's because your rhythms are like you very melodic. And
I'm all over the place, right?
But it's in such a good way, and it's a lot of people don't know how to do that. You know, so it makes sense now.
Right on. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Was these some clown niggas or some reputable really get down niggas? Where them niggas from? What side of town? I'ma split they crown, nigga. Don't even look over there. Act like we ain't tripping.
You are now rocking with the illest. BayAreaCompass, providing the world with all the best Bay Area music.